Hey, what's up guys? It's BeamNG-FUN here, and I'm creating a bit of a special video for you guys. As you guys know, I don't normally record my voice and put my voice on my videos, and there's a reason for that. I think a lot of my viewers appreciate watching my videos and hearing the sounds of the crashes without my voice interrupting the video and you know, being over top of the crash sounds. But I have had some requests for me to add my voice to the videos. So what I thought I would do is I would start adding my voice to some of my videos, not all of them. And I figured what I would do is I would start by making some tips and tricks videos. I'm not sure if you guys have seen, but I created a new website. It's called BeamNG-FUN.com, and I'll put the link in the description. You guys can definitely feel free to check that out. And what I'm trying to do is create a really nice portal and news site for all of your BeamNG news, videos, reviews, as well as one of the sections I wanted to create is a tips and tricks section. I get a lot of questions about how I do certain things, like how I work the AI, how I move vehicles around, things like that. So I wanted to start by creating a series called Tips and Tricks, and kind of walking you through and obviously recording my voice explaining how I do it. A whole bunch of different things you can do in BeamNG-drive. So I want to start off by doing something very simple. I get a lot of requests about how you move vehicles around in the game. And in particular, a lot of times people want to know how I get the cars onto the flatbeds. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and once you know how to do that, it'll kind of show you how you can move vehicles and objects around. So as you can see here, I have the default pickup truck. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control E on my keyboard, and let's go down to the H series, and I'm going to select the flatbed. I'm just going to replace my current vehicle for now. Okay, and I'm just going to reposition the flatbed here. Whoops, take the parking brake off. Just going to make it nice and straight in the lane there. I'm going to hit the parking brake. Now I'm going to spawn in the vehicle that I want onto the flatbed. So I'm going to press Control E again. And let's get the Covet over here, just because it fits nicely on the small flatbed. And of course I'm going to hit Spawn New. That way it's not replacing my flatbed there. So now to get it onto the flatbed, first of all I'm just going to position it right beside the flatbed, just like this. So I'm just going to put the parking brake on just so it doesn't roll on me. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press F11 on my keyboard, and that's going to open up the world editor. Now over here on the right hand side you're going to see mission group. If you expand that by clicking this little arrow, and if you scroll all the way to the bottom here, you're going to see a couple of BeamNG logos there. First is going to be the player, and if we click on that, you can see it's actually highlighted my flatbed truck. That's good because that indicates that it's my player vehicle. And then you'll see down here I have Clone 1. So Clone 1 is the second vehicle that I've loaded in. And you'll notice when I click on it, it's giving me these arrows. And these arrows are what I'm going to use to move the vehicle around to reposition it. And how you're going to do that is you're going to left click on one of the arrows. So in this case I'm left clicking on the up and down one. And you're going to pull up. Now you're going to notice what's going to happen is I'm pulling up, but it's dropping back down. Now that's normal because that's gravity and that's the physics in work. That's what we want. That's what the game's all about. Now to be able to move it onto the flatbed, I'm going to press the J key on my keyboard, and we're going to lose the game sound. But what that does is it pauses the physics. So now you can see when I click on the blue arrow to lift it up. By the way, when you're in the game or when you're in the world editor, you can use the right mouse click and hold and move your mouse to look around. So I use that a lot to make sure I'm getting a good view of things. So anyways, I'm going to release that, and now again I'm going to grab the blue arrow here, and I'm just going to pull up with my mouse. Okay, you just want to move nice and slow. Now I'm going to reposition the camera using my right mouse click. And I'm going to click on the green arrow now to move it to the right. Now it gets a little bit finicky. You kind of have to move your camera around a little bit to make sure things are lining up and not moving too fast, but if we look at that, that looks pretty good. We can then use the red arrow just to kind of pull it back a little bit. And then finally we'll use the blue arrow just to get it nice and close. Sometimes you have to be a little bit careful to make sure that the tires don't go into the flatbed, because sometimes they'll actually get stuck once you turn the physics back on. So I'm just going to leave it a little bit above the flatbed so you can see it just kind of hovering there. And I can actually hit the J key right now, and that'll restart the physics while I'm in the world editor. Okay, so you can see it just drop nicely onto your flatbed there. Now what we're going to do to get back to the game is up here in the top left hand corner you have the play button. I'm going to click on that. We're now back into play mode, as you can see, nicely loaded onto the flatbed. And I'm just going to switch vehicles using my tab key back to the flatbed. I'm going to take the parking brake off and let's drive it down the hill. So you'll want to make sure that when you place the vehicle, in this case the Covet, onto the flatbed, that you have the parking brake on, otherwise it'll just roll right off the back of the flatbed. So let's see if we can go up this jump here. There we go. And of course we can tab between the different cameras. There we go, a nice crash there. Alright guys, so hopefully that helps you guys out a bit. Like I said, I'm going to be starting a new series called Tips and Tricks. Hopefully I'll get a video, a new tips and tricks video up once a day at least. I'm still, of course, going to be doing my crash videos. I haven't yet decided whether I'm going to start recording my voice onto the crash videos yet, just because, like I said, I think a lot of people really do appreciate just hearing the sounds of the crashes rather than hearing my voice over top. But I figured for the tips and tricks it'd give me a perfect opportunity to get my voice on the videos. Also, I'm thinking maybe for live streams, I'll record my voice on the live streams just because it's a little bit easier to communicate with you guys. So hopefully this was helpful. Feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about me putting my voice on the videos. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.